10 years ago, you could buy a coffee, a sandwich, and a movie ticket for the price of just one movie ticket today. Nobody stole your money. Nobody hacked your bank account. So, where did it go? Stick with me for the next 5 minutes, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why your paycheck feels smaller every single year. I'm Uncle Ted, and this is the truth about inflation nobody explained to you in school. Let's start simple. Inflation is the rate at which prices go up over time, which means the same amount of money buys you less and less stuff. Imagine your grandmother gave you a $100 bill in the year 2000 and told you to keep it in a drawer, untouched, for 25 years. If you opened that drawer today, you'd still have $100. But that $100 would only buy you what about $55 or $60 could buy back in 2000. The paper didn't change. Its power did. So, inflation isn't really about prices going up. It's about your money's purchasing power going down. Think of it like a video game character slowly losing strength points every single year, even though the character on screen looks exactly the same. Okay, so why does this happen? There are two main engines that drive inflation. The first is demand pull inflation. This happens when everybody suddenly wants to buy the same things at the same time, but there isn't enough supply. Think about concert tickets. When a huge artist announces a world tour, 1 million people want tickets, but there are only 50,000 seats. What happens? Prices skyrocket. Now, imagine that happening across an entire economy, for houses, cars, groceries, all at once. The second engine is cost-push inflation. This happens when it becomes more expensive to actually make things. Imagine you own a bakery, and suddenly the price of flour, sugar, and electricity all go up. You didn't want to raise the price of your bread, but if you don't, you go bankrupt. So the higher cost gets passed down to you, the customer. And there's a third piece of the puzzle, the money supply. When central banks print more money and pump it into the economy, there's simply more cash chasing the same amount of goods. More dollars competing for the same number of coffees means each dollar becomes a little less special. Now, here's where it gets personal. Inflation does not affect everyone equally. If your salary stays exactly the same but prices climb every year, you are quietly getting poorer. Even if the number in your bank account never changes. This hits people on fixed incomes the hardest: retirees, minimum wage workers, anyone whose paycheck doesn't automatically adjust upward. But here's the twist most people never talk about. Inflation can actually benefit people who owe money. If you took out a loan for $200,000 to buy a house, and inflation is high, you're paying that loan back with dollars that are worth less than the dollars you originally borrowed. In a strange way, debt can shrink in real terms during inflation. That's why some investors actually love moderate inflation, as long as they hold assets, not just cash. Let me give you a real historical example. In Germany, in the 1920s, inflation got so extreme that people needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy a loaf of bread. Prices were doubling every few days. That's called hyperinflation. It's a reminder of exactly why keeping inflation under control is one of the most important jobs any government has. So, how do economists actually put a number on all this? They track something called the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. Basically, they build an imaginary shopping basket filled with the everyday things people buy: bread, gas, rent, clothes. And they track how the total price of that basket changes month after month. If that basket cost $100 last year and $103 this year, we say inflation is roughly 3%. It's not perfect, because everyone's personal basket is a little different, but it's the best snapshot we have of the whole economy. All right, this is the part you've been waiting for. You can't personally control inflation, but you can control how exposed you are to it. First, avoid holding too much cash sitting idle. Cash is the asset that inflation eats first. Second, learn about assets that historically tend to hold or grow their value over time, like stocks, real estate, or other investments. This is not financial advice, just a general principle worth researching further. Third, keep improving your own skills and income, because the best inflation protection in the world is a paycheck that keeps growing too. Understanding inflation isn't just some boring economics term for textbooks. It's literally the difference between your money working for you or quietly disappearing while you're not looking. So, next time someone tells you prices are just going up because everything is expensive now, you'll know exactly what's really happening behind the scenes: demand, supply, and the quiet erosion of your money's power. If this finally made inflation make sense to you, hit subscribe, because on this channel, we break down the money topics nobody bothered to explain properly. Drop a comment telling me, have you noticed prices rising faster this year? I read every single one. I'm Uncle Ted. See you in the next video.